Hello everyone. In this video we are actually discussing the importance and the way in which we can actually make good headlines for news stories. There are different kinds of headlines that you encounter on an everyday scale in the newspapers. Certain titles would be very informative, that is, they'll just convey precisely what the content of that news item would be. But there are quite dramatic titles also, especially in the front pages. If there is something very controversial or something very significant, you must have seen that there would be quite dramatic titles which have been given, or titles which actually inculcate a kind of curiosity in you to pursue that news item. For example, if maybe something very significant has happened, it will be like probably even a one word. I have seen when a very significant politician passed away, there was a title in Malayalam called Veenu. That's it, because he died when he was standing in front of a dais, and not a politician, a very academician, I believe. It was during my childhood. So it just said Veenu, which is a very significant title. It will definitely capture the attention of the audience or the reader. They'll be very curious to know what has happened. So similarly, very short and very interesting titles which ignite a kind of curiosity towards that news item. So always keep your titles short. Of course, you do not want your title to be the exactly same thing as your lead paragraph, which gives all the information, but rather the title should lead the reader to the news story. It's actually, in the modern day competitive media world, the title has actually this purpose of selling the news also. That is the title, because there are a lot of news platforms which people can opt for. So to make the people stick on to a particular news platform, it needs to grab the attention of the audiences or the readers. So it has to play a bit of tricks in order to do that. So especially with the titles, they do a lot of tricks. Especially, you must have seen in these online news platforms, there is something called clickbait. That is, they show you some kind of a very curiosity inspiring title, and they lead into a very mundane and ordinary news. I've probably given this example a couple of times in the class itself. You'll be surprised, you'll be shocked if you get to know what such and such a celebrity did at a cafe. So you immediately, the curiosity is aroused, and you immediately click that link, and you see that celebrity actually just drank coffee in that cafe. So these are called clickbaits. So in this competitive media world these days, selling the news has also become a major function of the titles. So the title should be very attention capturing. It should also lead towards the a lead paragraph which has the basic information, but very objective titles are also there, which only communicate what the news item is about. But there are also probably most of the time which come in the front page itself, very dramatic titles. And then about the way in which titles are written, mostly given in present tense to communicate the immediacy of that news item. If somebody has passed away, it's a past event, but Jayalalitha passes away, or Prime Minister resigned. He would have resigned, but we will say Prime Minister resigns. Active voice, present tense. That's the most selling kind of title setup. Active voice, present tense. Resignation given by the Prime Minister is not that as interesting and captivating as PM resigns. So again, very brief, and brevity is very important. In very short words, something is communicated in active voice and in present tense rather than in past or some other. And also at times questions also. Just two phrases maybe and a question mark, it evokes a lot of curiosity and attention. So similarly, of course, capitalization matters. At times a very significant title in full caps, but otherwise it's only the proper nouns which are capitalized, others are in small letters. So similarly, you can think about all these things and take up some newspapers and look up some very interesting titles, how they make it attention grabbing. So these are the pointers about writing interesting titles for news stories, interesting headlines for news stories. Keep all these in mind while you write those. Thank you for listening, guys.